I often talk about journaling on my channel, and I thought it was about time I actually did some journaling on my channel. So today I'm going to go through some tips on how to get started with journaling if it's something that's new to you. And as an autistic person, this video is aimed at other autistic people. And I'm reluctant to use the term creative journaling because I think sometimes that can put people off if they don't consider themselves to be particularly creative. But I think the act of journaling is creative in itself, even if you're not drawing, because the act of writing and expressing yourself, making mind maps and all that kind of stuff is still being creative. So anyway, let's get started. So I think a really good tip for getting started with journaling, if it's something that's completely new to you, is taking the opportunity to use it as perhaps a vocabulary builder. So I'm going to use a word that is relatively new to me, and that is assiduity. And incidentally, if you don't have a journal, you can use any old bit of paper, anything is fine. So let's get started by spelling assiduity, just using a reference to the side of me. Okay, so I forget how to spell it. And assiduity is a noun, and it means a constant or close attention to what one is doing. So this is going to essentially inform all of what I'm going to do today. So this I'm just going to put in a little cloud. Now I want to think about instances where I have paid really close attention to what I'm doing. And the first thing that comes to mind is making, or creating rather, art. Because I get absolutely lost in what I'm doing. It brings about autistic flow for me, and I'm really concentrating on what I'm doing. And another instance is driving a car. And again, I have to pay real attention to what I'm doing. Although there can be instances where I kind of zone out, I guess. That kind of dissociative state that we all get when we're kind of used to what we're doing. But generally speaking, I'm really concentrating on what I'm doing. What else is there? Another thing that I'm not keen on doing is public speaking. And anybody that knows me or has been around this channel for a while will know I absolutely hate public speaking. And gosh, what else is there? Recording YouTube videos is another instance of where I have to pay real attention to what I'm doing. It's an act of creativity essentially, so again it can bring about autistic flow depending on the task that I'm doing. Okay, what else is there? I have got a list to my right, which is, I have taken some notes for this video in case you're wondering what I'm doing. This is one that I'm sure many of you will be able to relate to. Autistic masking. And again, it's something that I have to pay attention to. I'm really am concentrating on kind of everything essentially when I'm masking. And there'll be no doubt no end of traffic noise today, but I'm going to try and just work through it. And another instance of assiduity is related to my experience of MCAS, which is mast cell activation syndrome. It's a co-occurring condition of autism, and it essentially means an overactive immune system. But in respect of MCAS, what I need to pay close attention to is my diets and the meds that I take as well, because there are quite a few. And what else is there? There is, that's another one I've just thought of actually. If you use makeup, or if you perhaps do your hair, you might pay close attention to what you're doing, or perhaps your appearance in general. I'm using a pencil today because I prefer writing in pencils. I just like the way it feels, really. So I think those are enough examples of assiduity for today. So I might want to just put these in little clouds as well, just to make it look a little bit, I don't know, more appealing. I do need to state that I am not a mental health practitioner in any way, shape or form. I am an autistic artist with a YouTube channel, so I just need to make that clear. I do have a degree in visual communication, specialising in illustration, so, you know, on the art side of things, maybe I've got a little bit of experience. So there we go. These are all the things that I'm going to use as examples for today. And what you might want to do, entirely up to you, is use a little bit of colour if you want to. So autistic masking, driving a car, just creates a little bit of, you know, visual interest if you have any sort of colour things hanging around. Forgetting my words. What else can I do? Maybe recording YouTube videos. Perhaps you could colour code them as well. Perhaps the things you like doing and things perhaps you're not quite so keen on. There's a bit of green here as well. So anyway, I'm sure you get the idea. And of course, I'm just using assiduity as an example today. You can use any words that you want to work with, and it might be a nice way to journal consistently, actually, to use it as an opportunity to learn a new word. So now I'm going to take a few of the examples of assiduity and just kind of build on them or flesh them out a bit in terms of how I experience them. So the first of which is going to be autistic masking. And what I might do is just include a little character here, and I'm going to keep it really basic. But if you know, are a bit arty, or if you like drawing, this is a good opportunity to maybe add a little bit of illustration work as well. Looks like he's holding a ball though, but I'm sure you get the idea. If you you know, spend a bit more time on this, you can flesh it out and draw actual characters and stuff. I'm just doing it super quick today. Okay, so autistic masking. How does that make me feel when I'm applying assiduity, or when I'm really thinking about how it makes me feel? And I think I use masking because I struggle with my sense of identity. I know that when I am masking, I appear more confident than I actually am. Sometimes lots more confidence. I try to hide sad or complicated feelings. So, for instance, if I tear up, I really try and kind of blink tears away. So, can have that as well. Blink away tears. You get that horrible kind of stinging sensation, don't you? And it's essentially because I hate crying in front of other people. It feels exhausting to have to notice everything. And respond accordingly. Perhaps Uta Frith should be watching this. What else is there? I will note and copy others' behaviours and maybe facial expressions. I will note and copy what other people are saying. I still feel awkward in situations, even though I'm masking. And there's loads of other examples I could give you here, but I think that's going to be enough for today. And I'm sure for those of you out there who mask, you could give me loads of examples as well, but it's really just to give you an idea of how to start journaling if you're really unsure as to where to start, really. So again, I'll just put these maybe in little cloud formations. I'm just trying to keep it as basic as possible for today so that it's not off-putting, because I know that when I see other artists and when they're showing off their journals, I think, oh my gosh, I just could not journal like that, because they're always, well, not always, but very often beautiful works of art in themselves. But this isn't about having beautiful journals today. This is really about putting our feelings and our thoughts down on paper, and that's all that matters. So again, I'm just going to link those like so. So there's a bit of colour, autistic masking. So my next example of assiduity, or paying real close attention to something, is making or creating art. And I love this so much. For me, this helps me bring about autistic flow. So it's when I get really involved in a task or a project, and it kind of feels meditative, and I really enjoy this feeling. So I'm just going to do another very basic little character, and of course you don't have to do this. It's just really for those of you that are like drawing or whatever, really. You could even do perhaps some collage work, or include some photographs even if you have any. And I'll put that in a little cloud. Okay, so when I'm making or creating arts, it really does feel like I kind of get lost in my own little worlds. For me, it gives my life a sense of purpose. So it feels meaningful. Making arts and being an artist is it's a big part of my identity. So being an artist forms identity, which is really important as an autistic person who masks, because we often have issues around identity. It helps me feel connected both to the art world, both to the arts work, but also to the art world, because the online arts and illustration community, some of those people are so nice and supportive. This is a really important one. It helps me communicate, because I feel like I communicate best when I'm speaking, but also when I've got a visual to back up what I'm saying, really. It really, really does help me. It helps me to notice things. So it actually helps me to bring around assiduity. So the things that I notice could be tiny details, and it could be the environments. It could be a physical form if I'm making a sculpture. It gives me an opportunity to learn. Because if particularly I've been commissioned to make an artwork, I'll have to learn about maybe a subject or a person, often something that I've not come across before. So there is an aspect of learning that I really enjoy. And in terms of art as well, I often feel frustrated that I haven't the time. Sorry, my handwriting's getting more and more appalling as I'm going on. To try out and master other art materials, because there's just so many, and I want to be an expert in all of them. It took me 10 years to get to know polymer clay as a art material, and it frustrates me it takes that long, and I want to be able to use like oil paints. I want to be able to use watercolours, and I'd love to be able to use other forms of clay as well, but I'm 52 and I don't have the time or the resources, and it does frustrate me. So again, I'm just going to put all these in little clouds, because I think I've given a fair few examples of how creating arts makes me feel. But I think ultimately it really does give me a sense of identity when I look back through my life. So it's very important to me. And there's lots of artwork still to do, but it probably won't be clay, so I'll have to figure something else out. I'm enjoying digital drawing though, so maybe that's where I'll go next. And again, I'm just going to add a bit of colour. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. It's really just to give a sense of where you can start journaling if it's something that's new to you. But I'd love to hear if journaling is something that you're doing regularly and how you do it, because I think we've all got our own different ways of journaling, and it is something that I want to get back into, essentially doing regularly, because I used to journal loads when I was at art school, and I really miss it because I enjoyed it so much. So do let me know if you'd like to see more journaling on this channel, because yeah, it's something that I'd perhaps like to introduce in some way, shape or form. So thank you for watching. Give it a like if you got this far. Comments would always be appreciated, and if you don't know what to say, leave me an orange heart down below for friendship. Or you could leave me maybe a little art palette to say if you wanted to as well. And I'll see you again soon.